Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy DB6. Just want to let you know what you're about to see here are my stream clips edited down to the specific video. I go live doing reactions every Monday night and Thursday on Twitch. If you like what you see, hop on over. Otherwise, enjoy the video. Wham! Bam! Dash cam! Well, Tesla cam. I fucked it up. It's Wham Bam Tesla cam. We are top 25 biggest Tesla crashes. I did some Wham Bam Tesla cams already a couple weeks ago. I wanted to get the real epitome of the Tesla crashes. I was like, we've seen some good crashes, seen some near misses and stuff like that. So I'm like, why not find a really good one, which is the top 25. It's about a year old because he does this at the end of the year, so it's about 6 months old, but whatever. Top 25 biggest Tesla crashes. Lego.
We took a look at the data, selected the clips you watched the most,
we're not even
and put
edging.
them
We're
together
getting right
into
into
this list of the biggest Tesla crashes of the year.
He didn't even finish his intro.
Mika and his family had just left the mall and had made it through a yellow light when the drivers in front of them suddenly slammed on their brakes. The Tesla engaged automatic braking and stopped in time before they rear-ended the car ahead of them. Unfortunately, the driver behind them wasn't paying attention and ran the red light. They didn't brake, but they did swerve to the right at the last second before rear-ending the Tesla. Mika called 911 and paramedics checked out his kids and said they were okay.
Oh, what?
The other driver was very apologetic
Glad
and
the kids are
fault
okay.
at the scene. The sheriff's deputy who responded just smiled and nodded when he saw the Tesla, saying, "Let me see the Tesla cam recording." Mika contacted the other driver's insurance provider.
Yeah, that cop was not trying to hear any shit. He's like, just show me the footage. I don't need to hear anything. Just show me the camera.
And discovered she'd already made a claim. The total repair bill came to $15,000 US, and the repair process took.
Yo, for being shitty materials, which whatever, you can hate me for saying that, I don't care. For being shitty materials, Teslas cost a lot to repair. It's because of all the fucking sensors and cameras.
2 months thanks to parts delays. John was driving down the highway with his wife and 3 kids on the way to the zoo when an accident similar to our first clip occurred. Out of nowhere, a lady driving a
Why is she driving in the middle of the fucking road? She's not even in a lane. She's directly on the line.
Scion came straight at them and smashed into the rear quarter panel.
Oh my god! He flipped her ass the fuck over. What? Bro, pop the fucking tire off the wheel. Not even driving in their own lane. And they're an Uber. They're a fucking Uber. You think I wouldn't catch that? That's probably a Lyft sticker. Bro, what? What are you doing if you're in an Uber and they're driving down the middle of the highway, not even in a specific lane, and you're just fucking slam into a Tesla? What? Jesus Christ. On the roof.
It doesn't even look like she tried to apply the brakes.
Because she did it.
She later stated that she'd fallen asleep.
Look at this shit. Completely clipped the whole corner here and immediately flipped over. That's why you don't drive a cube.
At the wheel, John noticed she had
she fell asleep.
stickers on her windshield.
I mean, that's not an excuse, but at least that gives us context.
To which they replied, "Well, there's no doubt about who's at fault here. The Scion driver was uninsured, so John filed a claim with his
and they're uninsured. Wait a second, how? Those are old stickers then. My grandfather's an Uber driver. He has to display his insurance, registration, and inspection, and they all have to be valid at all times or else he can't drive. So the fact that she's uninsured is insane.
The Tesla was deemed a total loss due to the battery being ruptured.
Damn, they hit that bitch so hard it ruptured the battery.
Brian was driving his Model 3 in Delaware County, Pennsylvania. He was
oh shit! Local clip! Local clip!
Approaching an intersection where the drivers coming from the right had a stop.
Well, at least in the same state. I don't know how local that actually is to me.
Stop sign. A 2013 Buick LaCrosse driven by a young woman had already stopped at the stop sign, but then she proceeded to make a left directly in front.
Yeah, just because you stop at a stop sign doesn't mean you just pull out whenever the fuck you want. You still have to yield to people who don't have stop signs.
To Brian.
Oh, shit.
Brian attempted
He didn't just hit the car, he hit the fucking pole behind him.
Enough time. He clipped the driver's side quarter panel, spinning her into a telephone pole.
They both got double whammy.
Brian's Tesla went
Look, this stone pole here, I don't know what the fuck this is even for.
Up a small
Smashed into that.
Hitting a stone pillar. Brian's driver's side airbags deployed, but there were no major injuries to anyone involved, including the other driver. Brian called the police to report the accident. When they arrived,
Destroyed.
the woman tried
Totaled.
blaming Brian for what had happened. She claimed she'd already completed the left turn and that Brian had rear-ended her, causing her to spin out and hit the pole. Brian...
Do people not realize that Teslas record absolutely everything from a 360-degree angle? Trying to say that he was... That wouldn't even make any fucking sense. That wouldn't make any sense at all, what her story is. That's crazy.
Let the officer on scene view his Tesla cam footage, and he immediately determined that the other driver was at fault.
Yeah, because she went through the stop sign.
In the video that there was even a big sign which reads, "Look left, right, left."
Bro. Sign right here that says not to do that. Not to just pull out. You have to look everywhere.
Apparently, she didn't see it. Brian got a small
Staring
shock
right at
about the
it.
repair estimate. Can you guess the total repair bill? Leave a comment with your guess, and we'll tell you the answer at the end of the video.
I don't know. 20 grand? The whole front end's fucked.
Nanita was on her way to a doctor's appointment during morning rush hour traffic. Autopilot was engaged, and as she approached an on-ramp, two cars were merging onto the highway. One of the drivers came off the ramp and immediately tried to merge into the fast lane, crashing straight into Nanita's Tesla.
Oh shit.
Her Tesla was pushed into the far lane, barely missing a car that had been passing her on the left. The tires and rims on the driver's side made contact with the concrete barrier.
Jeez.
Nanita told us autopilot took over after the impact, keeping the car steady as it got her safely to the side of the highway.
Alright, good on the autopilot. That's dope.
The side airbags deployed, but the front airbag did not. After this, the Tesla was disabled and wouldn't allow her to drive.
Would you expect anything less? It just got fucking
Emergency
railed.
responders pushed the car out of the road, which damaged the rear bumper cover and hatch. Repairs cost over $21,000 US. At first,
If this is 21, I'm upping my guess to 25 for the other car.
she was told the Tesla would be totaled, but then the insurance company changed their mind and went forward with repairing it, which took 3 months to complete.
That's crazy.
Anupi was driving his Model 3 on a highway in Arlington, Texas, when traffic was slowing down in the lane to his right. A Chevy driver tried to skip traffic by diving into Anupi's lane without looking. The Chevy sideswiped.
I hate this. I avoid people like this like the plague. Sorry. I avoid people like this like the plague. I constantly see this happen all the time on my local highway. People just getting impatient, sitting in traffic, and they just cut in. It's like, is it really that deep? You're 2 cars ahead of where you were before now. You're not making it any farther. And then the other side ends up going farther anyway, so it's not even like they're doing anything.
Tesla ripping a Tesla cam out of its housing. Check out that Terminator carnage. Wow, we've seen thousands of Tesla crashes on this channel, but I think this is the first time a camera has been ripped out.
Oh shit, it was still on the other car.
Cam.
Wow, that's crazy.
This submitter was headed to a stag party with his friends. They were all excited, but the mood in the car changed rather quickly when an older man in a Renault Kangoo ran
What is he doing? What is he doing?
a stop sign.
Oh, fuck.
The man driving the Renault had been blinded by the sun when he looked to his left, and when he turned his head to the right, he couldn't see the Tesla. Our submitter was driving at 50 miles
He could have stopped right here when he saw them.
per hour, so there was no time for him to react. The Renault T-boned the Tesla,
Holy crap. Took off his whole front end right here.
spinning it into a traffic sign and sending it flying. Luckily, the
Yeah, that traffic sign easily smashed all the windows and broke the C-pillar. I've had that happen before.
submitter and his friends in the Tesla
He could have
were
just waited
uninjured.
until he could
The
actually
driver
see.
of the
Yeah, that too. 100%. But I mean,
Renault
if he had to go through, he could have just stopped after he saw that they were right in front of him. Even if he hit him slightly, it could have been way less of a crash. He made that so much worse by just flooring it.
dizzy and shaken up, but our submitter was able to calm him down. The initial repair estimate came in at $30,000 US. But
Wow.
once disassembly
That's
had
good glass,
started,
though.
it
Shit,
was
didn't even fucking
determined
break
that the
off.
car was totaled. The insurance company paid for the
Damn,
full
look at
value
that.
of
Look at the crease in this door.
a new car.
That's
and
from the pole. That's from the sign. They got hit on the other side.
ordered a new Model 3.
That's where they got hit. That other side was from the pole. That pole did so much damage.
Which will be delivered within a few months. His Tesla had previously been customized with a matte black wrap, JR3 wheels, and he'd even replaced the Tesla logo with a Batman emblem.
Good for that guy. Now he gets to get a new car.
Hamid was sitting at a traffic light when he witnessed a red light runner get T-boned and roll over. Hamid rushed over and helped the driver.
Yep. That is extremely unfortunate. Also, look how much damage he did to the truck. This whole corner is destroyed.
Who was unharmed. When the police arrived, he showed them his Tesla cam video.
That car
They
bounced.
were very happy that Tesla had captured the incident, and they recorded
That shit got air. After it rolled over, it got air.
right
That
there
can
on the
buff out.
screen.
That can buff out my ass. There ain't no way.
Troy was driving his brand new Model S in Oxnard, California. As he was taking a left turn, he felt a large impact.
Oh!
Troy says he's grateful for his Tesla's incredible safety features. The airbags appeared to go off before the impact. Everything
I don't know that I trust that they went off before the impact. I think
seemed to
that might
happen
just be
in
a
a flash
stretch.
to him, and the next thing he knew, the car was full of smoke and his arm felt warm. A driver approaching from the left had
Oh my god. Oh my god. How, that guy had to be going like 60 miles an hour.
blown through their red light
Holy
and T-boned
crap.
his Tesla, spinning it 180 degrees before it came to a stop. Troy and his passenger walked away unharmed,
Ooh.
as did the driver of the other vehicle.
For it to only do that much damage, kudos to Tesla on the doors. I gotta say, the doors on these cars are solid. Also, hold on a second. I know we're on the last video, but my headphones keep pinging at me that they're gonna die, and I won't be able to hear anything. Sorry, chat. I don't mean to keep you waiting. I want to be able to hear what's going on. All right, we should be good now. We should be good now.
First responders arrived quickly after the accident.
I mean,
The
that's still a
driver
lot
who
of
hit
damage,
Troy
but the
claimed
fact that
his
it
light
kept
was
them safe
green.
is good.
He didn't have his driver's license with him, and his proof of insurance had someone
How rude to keep you waiting. Whatever, bro. I already apologized.
else's name on it. Even after all that, the cops didn't arrest or even cite him. Troy sent his Tesla.
Well, I don't know
video
why they
to
would.
Tesla
I don't know why they would arrest him. I mean, citing him for sure. He ran a fucking red light, but I don't know why they would arrest him. It's not like he actively tried to kill you.
Insurance, and they immediately agreed he wasn't at fault. They're still deciding if the car will be repaired or if it's totaled. Frank was driving his Model 3 with autopilot engaged in Sacramento, California. Autopilot was cruising at 65 miles per hour in the middle lane when a white Prius passed the Tesla on the driver's side.
Oh boy.
Behind the Prius, a Honda was approaching too fast.
Oh my
it
God.
swerved to the left, right into the center divider, and then shot
Oh my
across
God.
the freeway directly into Frank's Tesla. Frank says autopilot and the Tesla's emergency systems kicked in immediately, swiftly preventing the car from losing control and getting him safely to the side of the road. The driver of the Honda was
You know what? Out of all, I do shit on Teslas because I'm not a Tesla fanboy. Okay, I will give them props though. They keep their people safe because these are not good crashes. Like they're bad. Like in essence of like severity, and everybody's walked away from them. So they do keep their drivers safe, and all of these have the autopilot and auto safety going off to keep them from completely getting like thrown off the road and shit, and keeps them like in a straight line. So as much as I hate Teslas, I will give them their flowers.
unlicensed and uninsured. In fact, they were already.
Why is everybody always unlicensed and uninsured?
The CHP arrested him on the spot for reckless driving, reckless endangerment, and, of course, having no license or insurance.
Yeah, as he should.
The next day, Frank's insurance provider reviewed the Tesla cam footage before replacing his car in record time after the body shop informed him the vehicle was totaled with $22,000 in damage.
Wow.
Frank admits to owning a Honda as a second car. He's convinced that if he'd been driving his Honda that day, he wouldn't have walked away from that crash. He says Tesla Autopilot might have saved his life.
I mean, you never know. I think you would have been...
Vadim was driving his brand new Tesla Model 3 in Antelope, California.
Glad they walked away from it. That's what matters.
So Vadim moved over to the next lane, but so did the Honda. They made contact, sending the Tesla up onto an island. But not before taking out a small tree and kicking up dust in the process.
Jeez.
It took Vadim a few minutes to fully comprehend...
Where was the autopilot on this to stop him?
What had happened. His Apple Watch had already detected that he'd been involved in a car accident and called 911. Thankfully, all the airbags...
Holy shit! That tree ripped the whole fucking corner out of this car. Oh my god.
So Vadim escaped with only a couple of bruises. He walked over to the Honda driver, who was also unharmed, and he told Vadim, "I was trying to get out of your way." Police and firefighters arrived at the scene within 5 minutes of the accident. Vadim says this was his first car accident, and he was in a state of shock for 30 minutes. Some people
for a first car accident, that's rough.
You can't park your car there. Since Vadim was in control and Autopilot hadn't been engaged at the time, he doesn't think Autopilot tried anything to avoid the accident.
Okay, that's what I said.
Apparently, the Honda driver didn't think he was at fault at all. Vadim told him
it's
to make
all
a
the
police
Honda's
report,
fault.
and he'll send in his Tesla cam footage. Unsurprisingly, the Honda driver was found to be 100%
exactly,
at fault.
as he should have.
The report called it a collision while changing lanes, and it was determined that the Honda driver had performed a double lane change without waiting for 4 seconds between them. Vadim's Tesla was...
You have to wait 4 seconds between making lane changes?
Was later declared a...
I didn't know that, but I mean, I'm not making a lane change like this where he's just going to plow into somebody. I always make sure there's like 2 car lengths of room before I change lanes.
Total loss, and his insurance provider cut him a check for $71,000.
Holy crap!
He's planning on using it to get a new Tesla.
Yo, that boy on the come up.
Ashley was driving her Model
71K? You buy a Tesla and a half.
In Spokane Valley, Washington, when an Audi in front of her stopped to make a left turn. Ashley stopped in time, but the pickup truck behind her didn't.
Oh boy. Oh!
She felt a massive impact. At the same time, she noticed the Tesla's brake pedal was already pushed to the floor, so the car wouldn't hit the one in front of her. The pickup truck had slammed into the back of her Tesla at full speed, and the driver didn't appear to apply the brakes at all.
No, he kept pushing.
Ashley also told us her glove box, normally locked with a pin, opened during the crash. Police and paramedics were quick to arrive at the scene of the...
Homie's hauling brush. If you don't know what brush is, it's tree limbs and yard waste. So, landscaper not paying attention just fucking ate the back half of this Tesla.
The accident.
Wow.
Ashley was taken to urgent care and diagnosed with a concussion and whiplash. The police determined
Should be all right.
The pickup driver was at fault. Ashley
100%.
says it was a big pain dealing with the aftermath of the crash. The pickup driver didn't have enough coverage on his insurance policy to cover the damage he'd caused to her Tesla.
Oh, jeez.
The Tesla was deemed a total loss, meaning that the cost of repairing it would exceed the value of the car. In Ashley's case, that value was $50,000. Eventually, Ashley was able to process a claim with her own insurance provider, and she's already ordered a 2022 Model Y Performance.
Oh shit, upgrade, upgrade.
While Keone was driving to his sister's house in Maricopa, Arizona, he approached a newly installed traffic signal that was on its second day of operation. Keone started slowing down for the traffic in front of him, and so did the motorcyclist to his right. However, the driver of a red Hyundai behind them didn't notice traffic slowing down and slammed...
oh god. Please tell me dude, I need the motorcycle to be okay. I really need the motorcycle to be okay.
Keone's Tesla.
Oh,
Luckily,
thank God they were okay.
Hit the throttle and managed to escape the impact, driving through a hail of car parts that sprayed all over the road.
That's
Incredibly,
nuts.
A police officer was right behind them and saw the whole thing. The driver of the Hyundai admitted to the police that he'd looked down at his phone. By the time he looked up, it was too late. He ended up hitting the passenger corner of the Tesla, spinning it around.
This is why you don't go on your phone. It's never worth it. It can wait. It can always wait.
wheel was completely ripped off the car, and
wow.
we can even see the ground through the inside of the trunk.
Well,
this
yeah,
Model
he
3
ripped the
was
whole corner
brand new,
off.
with only just over 1,500 miles on it. In the end, it was totaled due to the extensive damage. Keone says the Hyundai driver was very nice and very apologetic during the whole situation.
That's good.
The officer didn't even ask to see the Tesla Cam video because Keone's description of the accident matched the other driver's version. Unfortunately, Keone hurt his back pretty badly and is currently undergoing physical therapy.
I'm glad they're okay, though.
Richard was driving his Tesla Model S in Atlanta, Georgia. Autopilot was engaged and maneuvered the car into the right lane to take an exit. As he passed a semi-truck, a car 2 lanes over started changing lanes to take the same exit.
Okay. This could have been avoided. This person should not be doing this. Both things could have been avoided.
Resulted in the car nearly sideswiping Richard's Tesla.
Okay, good. I'm glad it didn't.
Tried to make enough room to avoid an accident, but the other driver overcorrected and lost control.
Oh boy. They still hit them? Bro, what?
Hit maneuver on the Tesla as they both drove down the highway. Richard's Model S spun around over all the lanes. Luckily, it wasn't hit by any other cars or trucks. No airbags were deployed.
There's so much space on this highway. What are you doing?
Rear left tire touching the road, Richard was able to regain control and maneuver to safety. Even though the state of Georgia requires drivers to carry insurance, the other driver was uninsured.
Of course.
Instead, Richard's long process of sorting out a claim with his own insurance provider has begun.
Bro, get out of here.
Watch what happened when Sean was driving his Tesla Model 3 with autopilot engaged down a highway in Texas.
What are you doing? You can't turn here. This is not a U-turn point.
Sean took over control before crashing into the side of a Ford and being forced off the road. Luckily, he was able to stop before reaching a large ravine in front of him.
Yeah, that would have been tragic.
Apparently, the Ford driver had decided she wanted to make an illegal U-turn
from the other lane. You're going to make a U-turn from the other lane. You take her license. Take their license. She. Take her license. Oh my God, that's infuriating.
On the highway from the right lane, which she proceeded to do without even checking for traffic. When the police showed up, an officer sat in the passenger seat of Sean's Tesla and watched his Tesla Cam video before immediately citing the other driver. Sean had to drive back.
Take their license. They were trying to make an illegal U-turn from a lane that wasn't even close to the fucking opening.
Home from Texas to Wisconsin with a gash in his passenger door. The total cost of repairs was $12,000 US. He wanted to shout out Marshall Auto Body in Wisconsin for fixing his car. Ken had just turned right out of a parking lot. He'd started to accelerate when a Fiat suddenly turned into him.
What is with people turning from other lanes? This shit has me tight. What the hell are y'all do people not take driving tests anymore? Do people not understand how roads work? If you missed your turn, your fault. Drive up, go a different route. Stop making it other people's fucking problems. I'm livid right now.
The driver wanted to turn right at the intersection, and she must have thought that turning from the far left lane was a good idea.
There's an only lane right here. This is where you turn, not from the fucking 3 lanes over. I sound mad? I am mad. How are these people out on the road? Do I need a hug? My fiance will give me a hug when she gets home.
The folks in the car behind them stopped, and they said it looked as if she'd lost control of her car. Eventually, the police were called to the scene of the accident. The Fiat driver admitted fault to the police and said that Ken had been in her blind spot. The Fiat was towed away and was later deemed a total loss. Ken was able to—
It doesn't matter if they're in your fucking blind spot. You are turning from 3 lanes away from the lane you're supposed to be in. Not even 3 lanes from the turn. You are 4 lanes from the turn because there's a designated turn lane. My God.
To drive his Tesla home and get a repair estimate from the Tesla Repair Center. The repair bill came to, are you sitting down? $25,000 US.
What? Why? Oh my, dude. These prices to fix shit makes no fucking sense.
Amy was approaching an intersection when the light turned yellow. Roads were wet, and she wasn't sure if she'd be able to stop, so she decided to try to make it through the yellow light. Unfortunately, that was a big mistake. A lady driving a silver Chevy Cruze failed to...
That's still not the Tesla's fault, though. The light wasn't completely red. They have an excuse. This person should not be turning. You don't just turn when you see somebody coming. If you see somebody coming, you stop. Wait for the intersection to clear, then you turn. Okay? It's really not that serious.
Traffic, instead following behind another car turning left.
Like, this person's in such a fucking rush. They're up this person's ass, and they're not paying attention. You need to let this person go. You should be able to see if somebody's coming, and you should be able to wait. Also, you're at a stop. You are pointing right at them from this distance away. You stop. I'm about to turn this into a whole fucking educational course on how to drive.
Tesla's safety features were able to react.
They don't need to be turning here. They could have stopped. They could have stopped.
In time, and she slammed into the front passenger side of the Chevy. The impact.
Now this poor guy in his fucking nice, pristine Ford Ranger here no longer has a front bumper.
To hit a pickup truck, making this another 3-car accident.
Ridiculous.
We say another because this wasn't Amy's first 3-car accident in a Tesla. More
Ridiculous.
on that in a bit. Luckily, both drivers were okay. Unfortunately, Amy's Tesla wasn't so lucky. It was deemed a total loss after receiving a repair estimate of over $35,000 US. Police decided that Amy and the Chevy driver shared equal fault for the accident. They both received a citation, Amy for running a red light and the other driver for failing.
That light is yellow. They are in the intersection.
To yield.
Okay, now it's red. You're already in the intersection. This person should still stop.
According to Amy, she's cursed when it comes to owning a Tesla. Only 3 months earlier, her first Tesla was totaled in another 3-car accident.
What?
Unfortunately, she hadn't had her Tesla cam set up, so we don't have any video of it, but her photos tell quite a story. She was rear-ended and pushed into a Hyundai in front of her, making a Tesla sandwich. The guy who hit her just jumped out of the car and ran away, and was never found.
Of course.
Thankfully, Amy wasn't injured, although she admits she was very shaken up.
It's just ridiculous.
Oh, wait a second. Is that a BMW driver using a turn signal?
If I have to watch somebody turn from the opposite lane one more goddamn time, I'm going to lose my goddamn mind.
No, let's back up and start from the beginning.
What the fuck are you doing?
At this intersection, the left lane...
Why are you over there? If you need to turn, get in this lane. You have time.
Is only for turning left, the middle lane is only for going straight, and the right lane can go straight or turn right. As Michael approached the intersection in the right lane to go straight, a BMW from the middle lane, which only...
And it's a yellow light. You should be stopping. Like...
only goes straight, remember, slowed down, and the driver put on their turn signal. The BMW driver then made a right turn from the middle lane, hitting the side of Michael's Tesla Model 3 and spinning it 180 degrees. Michael is an Uber driver. Luckily, he didn't have a passenger at the time of the accident, and everyone involved in the crash walked away unharmed. Unfortunately, Michael's Tesla wasn't so lucky. He's still waiting to hear from his insurance provider, but responding officers told him that, based on accidents they've seen before, it'll most likely be totaled.
No pictures? Alright.
Jeremy and his family had just picked up some pizza and were walking back to their Tesla parked outside when they heard a diesel engine spinning up. The driver of a modified diesel truck had seen the Tesla parked by the side of the street and decided to strike with one of the biggest coal rollings we've ever seen on this channel.
Dickhead move. Dickhead energy, stupid ass. I don't mean to say he deserves it, but I hope he's the only one who injures his truck. Because this is just fucking stupid.
Jeremy and his family waited
no
for
reason
the dinosaur
for this.
cloud to dissipate so they could get inside their car. In the end, they got home and enjoyed their delicious pizza, but they couldn't stop wondering, Are these guys still roaming the streets somewhere in their matching outfits and arms hanging out of their windows?
Look at this. It's the douchebag brigade. Dumbass 1, Dumbass 2 driving, and Dumbass 3 in the back, who are probably all chuckling, going, we showed that electric guy who's boss, right? Shut the fuck up, John. I'm not mad, you're mad.
Jordan was driving his Model Y, or rather, the car was driving itself since Jordan is in the full self-driving beta. The Tesla merged to the left lane to overtake a Subaru Impreza, but that's when everything went wrong that could go wrong.
Bro, what? Why are they moving?
All the Tesla's airbags deployed, keeping Jordan and his kids extremely safe. The collision pushed the car up on two wheels, but it did a great job absorbing the impact and not flipping over.
It very much did.
3 police officers quickly arrived to the scene of the accident, but none of them could figure out what had happened. Everybody was blaming someone else. Jordan walked over to them with his USB drive, which they promptly plugged into a patrol car computer, and they were able to view the Tesla cam footage right.
This guy has the right of way. These people need to yield. This guy should not have any issues going in this lane. This person does not have to move. They moved for no reason and caused a massive crash
right
for
there
it.
At the scene. Thanks to the video, they finally figured out that a pickup truck had merged onto the road and hit the Impreza.
Oh.
The Impreza then hit the Tesla, which spun out and...
Okay, then the guy on the other side's an asshole. I thought that Impreza moved for no reason. But now that they were hit, they did the right thing. They weren't supposed to move.
Hit the guardrail. If we watch closely, it looks like the SUV in front of the truck slowed down and the Subaru driver hit the brakes to let the SUV...
That's because they're supposed to yield. This person's a dumbass.
merge over. That's when the truck driver decided to overtake the SUV without checking for traffic. Here's where the story gets even more interesting.
How are you gonna overtake the SUV that's slowed down? There's another car here and there's another car here. Where are you going? Where are you going? Nowhere.
Driver pulled a U-turn
nowhere
and
that's
left
ever
the scene,
that important.
Making this a hit and run. The police
Of course
told Jordan
it
that
is.
he should show the video to the insurance providers since they'd likely also need help determining who was at fault. As a result, neither insurance company accepted liability for the accident since they're both blaming the pickup driver. Jordan and the Impreza driver had to file separate claims with their own insurance providers. Jordan has ongoing doctor visits and has also contacted his lawyers. They think he might be able to track down the pickup driver with the help of the police. His Tesla was deemed a total loss, and he's currently negotiating with his insurance provider for compensation. They offered him a little over $83,000 for the car,
Seasonal
but they
allergies, my
revalued
nose
the
is
FSD
running.
at $12,000. Since Tesla
Sorry
has
for
raised the
sniffling.
price for FSD since he initially purchased it, it now costs $15,000. Jordan wants them to pay him that much so he can order it for his new car without losing $3,000. Heath was driving his Model 3 to work in the HOV lane when traffic suddenly stopped in the lane next to him. A Ford SUV up ahead decided to switch lanes to skip traffic, causing mayhem in the
Jesus.
process.
Oh my god. Oh my
The
god.
Ford driver
This
tried
is
to
like
merge
just
into the center lane of the
completely
highway, but they
fucked.
hit another vehicle that
They hit one there, spun him in. They probably
was
clipped
already
this car.
traveling in that lane, sending the Ford back over the highway and into Heath's lane. Heath
They
swerved
probably
to the
clipped
left
that
in an
car.
attempt to avoid the vehicle, but the
They
loosened
clipped this
bumper
one and
smashed into the front of his
smashed into
Tesla
that
and
one.
scraped down the side
Damn, that Mercedes is kind of nice too. Fuck.
of his car, breaking the side view mirror. The Mercedes traveling behind Heath
That Mercedes is nice.
ended up smashing head-on
Oof.
into the SUV.
Jeez.
Heath pulled over on the shoulder and called 911. Thankfully, everyone was okay. The vehicle that was in the center lane that had made first contact just kept going, making this a hit and run. Unfortunately, the driver of the Ford SUV that caused the accident was uninsured, so Heath had to open a claim with his own insurance provider.
It's
Tesla
always the
referred him to a
motherfuckers who
trusted
are
auto body
uninsured
shop,
that
and
hit
the current
you.
estimate
It's
for repairs
absolutely
is
wild.
$4,400. They're booked out for 12 weeks though, so he's getting a quote from another shop.
44K is nuts.
Michael was driving his Model 3 in stop-and-go traffic on the German Autobahn near Munich.
Oh,
Suddenly,
God.
the semi-truck behind him ignored the stop part of stop.
I've had this happen to me before, but not with a semi-truck, but with a work van. I'm sitting at a stoplight, and the guy just floors it forward the second the light turned green because he dropped his phone.
And go and smashed into the back of his Tesla.
No, I don't own a Tesla. I'm just saying.
That impact didn't
This
look
shit's
too
so
bad,
stupid.
but here's where the story takes an interesting turn. Can you guess what it cost to repair the damage from this accident? Leave a comment with your guess, and we'll tell
Bro, there's no way this costs more than like... It shouldn't cost more than $1,000. Seeing how the Tesla crashes go, this probably costs like $5.
you the answer at the end of the video. Here's a hint. There was frame damage, so don't be afraid.
Frame damage? Why? How? Okay, the car's totaled. The car's totaled. If it has frame damage, it's totaled.
Zeros.
How much is the car worth? 70?
Nico's
60?
wife was driving their Model 3 at 70 miles per
Car's
hour
totaled.
when all of a sudden she felt a
Also, Wham Bam's got to tell us now 2 different car prices.
large impact from behind.
Oh my god. What the fuck?
The driver of a Dodge Charger had veered out of his lane and clipped the back end of the Tesla at high speed.
Not paying
Nico's
attention.
wife
There's
froze
literally
in
no
shock
reason
when the
for
impact
it.
occurred, releasing the steering wheel. The Tesla's emergency functions took over and kept the car steady before finally stopping.
Is that guy
The
gonna
other driver
stop?
stopped about half a mile up the road, but he never came back to check on Nico's wife. He even told the Florida Highway Patrol trooper that Nico's wife had hit him. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to show the trooper her Tesla cam footage at the scene of the accident because the Tesla thought it was still in drive and wouldn't let her view the video on the screen. The trooper ticketed the
that
driver
sucks.
of the Charger anyway, and the driver told Nico's wife that he'll see her in court to fight his ticket. Nico is
Yeah,
looking
good
forward
for
to seeing
you,
the
bro,
other
and then
guy's
you're gonna get
face when he
sued.
reveals the Tesla cam video in the courtroom.
I wish we could see
The
that.
insurance company totaled their Tesla and paid them $15,000 more than the car was purchased for brand new a year ago.
That's
They've
crazy.
already placed an order for a new Tesla since Nico's wife refuses to drive anything else after this. She's fully confident that the Tesla saved her life by taking control after the crash.
Yeah, the
Nico
Teslas
asked
are
us to
actually
shout
really
out his
safe when it
business,
comes to these
Brothers
crashes.
Gutters, and says their Tesla was a great marketing vehicle. People loved to talk to him about his Tesla, so keep that in mind if you're deciding on a company car.
I'm not buying a Tesla.
Safo was driving his Model 3 home to San Jose, California after getting a haircut. That's when a lady hit the right side of his car while pulling out of her driveway. She decided to pull out even though her view had been blocked by cars parked on the street. Autopilot wasn't engaged, but Safo says the initial swerve to the left was performed by the car anyway. He performed
Damn.
his own maneuver, which caused him to hit the hedge on the left. The right front axle was broken, and Safo couldn't move the car out of the way. Everyone involved in the accident, including Safo's passenger, was fine,
This
and
is
nobody needed
fucked
medical
up.
attention. Safo did call 911 though, since he couldn't move the car out of the way, and they sent a tow truck. The other party accepted responsibility
eyeballs,
for the
Zulu?
accident right away. The initial inspection was done by a
Damn.
Tesla-certified repair shop. They stopped checking for more damage once the estimate reached over $35,000.
Yeah.
Tesla insurance deemed the car a total loss. Safo told us it's been almost a month since the accident, but he's still waiting on Tesla insurance to write him a check. He
Oh,
thinks
what?
they're having trouble figuring out how much they should give him.
Give him a
Safo
new
wanted to
car.
shout out his barber Zaza, who works at the Burlingame Barbershop, for giving him the most expensive haircut he's ever had. But he'd do it again, even if he had to ride his bike all the way there.
Okay.
Jim was driving
Unnecessary
his Model
information.
3 with the full self-driving beta activated. The Tesla was cruising along in the
Oh,
right
God.
lane when a semi-truck
Oh, God.
started overtaking him in the left lane. Suddenly, the truck started moving into Jim's lane, hitting the back end of the Tesla and essentially pit maneuvering him. Jim told us the Tesla made the
Oh,
post-impact
my
spin save
Lord.
all by itself. He came to a complete stop just before entering opposing lanes, right in front of a sign informing him that he was going the wrong way. The trucker drove for a while before realizing he'd hit the Tesla.
What was he doing?
Afterward, he yelled at Jim for turning out in front of him. Jim and his wife both walked away unharmed.
They never
The Tesla was in the
moved!
repair shop for 9 months, but it also made a full recovery. According to Jim, getting the car repaired was a huge hassle. At what Tesla called their best shop in North Carolina, they vastly underquoted the damage by $11,000.
Oh my God.
Making working with the insurance company a nightmare. On top of that, he says Tesla messed up his vehicle's registration by registering his vanity plate to another Tesla he purchased as a replacement
my
when he thought
God.
the first one would be totaled. He eventually begged Tesla leadership directly for help after the New York Times reached out to tell his story. We do have to admit, it is a great license plate.
No hands. Okay.
Joe
You do
was
you,
driving
bro.
his
Go
Tesla
off.
through thick fog when he suddenly realized he was rapidly approaching flashing lights. He hit the brakes, but nothing happened. The road was covered in ice.
Oh,
he quickly
nice.
decided to go off-road into the median in an attempt to avoid hitting the vehicles that were blocking the entire highway. He braced for impact, and after coming to a stop, he was relieved that he
Holy
was safe
crap.
and the car was okay. At least, that's what he thought. Exactly 1 minute later, a truck driver made the same decision to go off-road,
Bro!
T-boning Joe's
He was fucking flying.
Tesla on the passenger side.
That sucks, dude.
A total of 18 cars and 12 semi-trucks were involved in the crash on I-90 that morning.
Oh
The Washington
my
State
God.
Patrol said that freezing fog was the main contributor to the 30-vehicle pileup.
What are they
3
selling?
people were transported to local hospitals, but thankfully all injuries were
Holy
reportedly
dude,
minor.
there's like-
Joe was
Wow,
totally unharmed, but
I'm struggling to take in how many vehicles were involved in that.
very
It's
shaken
insane.
up, which is understandable. The State Patrol later posted the
Holy shit, look at this. This is some shit you'd see in a fucking video game.
these aerial photos from the accident scene, and in
Oh
one of
my
them,
God.
we can actually spot Joe's Tesla.
Oh my god, look at the Tesla. Why is it all the way out there?
The Tesla was towed to a junkyard since the initial report stated it would probably be declared a total loss by the insurance company. Joe filed a claim with
That's
the driver of
insane.
the pickup truck who'd hit him. The insurance company is waiting for the State Patrol to complete their investigation, as there is one person who has been cited for going too fast for conditions, and they consider that person responsible for the entire incident. After seeing pictures of the aftermath, it's definitely
Yo, that person is fucked. They said all of this, all 50 cars that are involved in this crash, one guy going too fast. That guy's fucked. That guy is screwed, dude.
a miracle.
Oh
Nobody
my
was
god.
seriously injured
What are they selling? Are these potatoes? All these potatoes.
in this massive accident.
Wow. All right, here's the
Take a look at
follow-up.
Brian's repair bill from our first clip.
All right,
The
what did I
total
say,
bill was
50?
Just over $40,000 US dollars
Okay.
in damage. Unsurprisingly,
Close.
his insurance company decided
I
to
overshot
total the
it.
car. Brian
Yeah.
has already ordered a new Model 3 Performance in the same color, and
Gross.
he's excited to have a car with the
We should have picked any other color. I just don't like red cars.
new AMD Ryzen chip instead of the old
Insurance company's dropping him off. That insurance company is hunting that man down. That man has gone missing.
Intel Atom. So, how close was your answer?
That was 10K off.
Okay, time to find out how much our first submitter's repairs
So I said
cost.
total
Are
loss.
You sitting down? The initial estimate was for 25,000 euros, a little less than 25,000 US dollars.
Okay.
But the final price was actually a little over 13,000 euros, or about 13,000 US dollars. How
So I
close did
wasn't
you
I
get?
wasn't close. How is that not a total loss if it has frame damage?